So this is a really important topic. This is an important topic. Why? Because we have this situation today where people are really struggling to do things that they know they need to do. Okay, a lot of people are saying that motivation is basically having a feeling that you want to do something. Okay, so imagine that now I'm sitting at home and I feel like, oh, I'm really thirsty. Okay, I'm really thirsty. Bismillah. So because I have a feeling I want to do something, I get up and I do it. And that's why people think motivation is a very strong thing, because it has this emotion that pushes you. And that's why they say emotion creates motion. So when you have this feeling that I want to drink water, you will then take action to drink water. Okay? Discipline, however, is different. Discipline is like you don't have the feeling and then you still do it. So for example, I always give the example of Netflix, right? Like imagine I'm sitting here, I'm watching Netflix or I'm watching YouTube, I'm on a binge, hardcore binge, I'm enjoying it, I'm having fun. And the time for Maghrib comes, because Maghrib has very little time, right? Maghrib comes and I'm just laying there. Now I don't feel like getting up. I feel like just laying here, just watching YouTube and just staying here, right? Because there's no feeling there, it actually requires discipline. It requires you to do what needs to be done no matter what. And this is the key to discipline. You basically decide that you're going to do it no matter what. So I think discipline is definitely a lot better than motivation. It's nice when you have motivation because you have a feeling that goes with it. You're in line with your feelings. But discipline is all about basically getting into that mode where you are going to do whatever it requires. Now, part of this is actually, it's very interesting because people think, oh, discipline is this massive thing and it's this and it's that and it's very tough. And it's discipline, I would say, is like any other virtue that you have. It just requires it to be built up. So it could be that someone who is not disciplined at all can become disciplined. Okay? They can become disciplined. And it's hard at the start, but as you do it more and more, it becomes easier and easier. And I'll give you an example, something that people are very struggle with a lot. The phone, okay? So a lot of people, they struggle with discipline on the phone. Now, one of the rules I keep talking about every week, because I think it's so beneficial, is I've set a rule for myself that I'm not allowed to look at my phone or go on my phone until I've done certain things in the morning, right? And the key to that is two things. One is the decision making, and second is sticking to the rule. It's actually as simple as that. So let's say I make the rule that from tomorrow morning, I will not touch my phone until I've prayed Fajr, for example. Okay? Until I've prayed Fajr or until I've read Quran or whatever it is, I'm not going to touch my phone until that point. Discipline is you now doing that thing. It's like you decide it and you're right, I've made a decision, this is what I'm going to do. Now the only thing you have to do is stick to it. Right? You've just got to stick to it. And so when you get to that morning time, sometimes, yeah, you forget, sometimes this and that. But if you remember and you're like, I feel like checking my phone right now. And this is where motivation is the opposite way. I'm motivated to check my phone. But I know that I said I'm not going to do this, so I will not do this. And so based on that decision, you don't do it. And one of the reasons why I do this is because you'll be surprised that once you actually do something like this, once your brain goes, oh, wow, that was good. You did it once, right? And then you do it twice. Then you do it, and then by day 50, it's like it's not that big a deal anymore, right? Because that's just your normal routine. So once you start to get momentum, then it can really, really help you. So what I would advise is that you pick things which are you pick one thing at a time if you're trying to build discipline in something, right? I would start with the most important thing. So for example, if you're not praying 5 times a day or you're not praying regularly or whatever, I would start with something like that. Now, there's a secret here. If you are praying 5 times a day, I would say you are extremely disciplined. You are extremely disciplined. Like think about most human beings. What is it that they do 5 times a day? Like almost nothing. They do 5 times a day regularly every single day. Even eating, people eat like 3 times a day. Yeah. So like praying 5 times a day is a very, very highly disciplined thing to do. Right. So if you're doing that, one of the tips is actually to add on to one of those salah. So I used to have this, I still have this friend, his name is Jamal, he's amazing, mashallah, tabarakallah. And he is someone who every time we used to pray in our era, I remember he used to do press-ups after every salah, right? So he had connected press-ups to salah. So when he finished the salah, he would be in there and he'd be doing his press-ups. And he's like jacked up, mashallah, right? And you see that he just took one habit, he attached it to a habit that he's already doing, and that was it. Right? So in the same way, if you have habits that you have already, then you can actually add these things on there as well. So I hope that helps, and may Allah make it easy for all of us. And remember, it's a muscle. As you do it more and more, it will get deeper and deeper.